shake this thing around pretty good. So everything laid out in front of me is creative tech for photography and videography that I just really like this year. All of this stuff is cool purchases that I made in 2025 that I think y'all might enjoy as well, and I definitely have no regrets about any of this stuff because all of these items have, one, helped my workflow for photo and video / content creation, in some cases actually improved my health and my life, and in some cases made me more productive, and some of the things at the end of the video are just interesting that I want to share with y'all. But let's get into it, and big thank you to Aura Frames for sponsoring today's video. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. The first thing on this list is my iPhone 17 Pro. Now I'm going to make a completely separate video about this because honestly it needs its own video. This thing is the best iPhone camera I have used, hands down, because of one thing, and that's the fact that the telephoto lens is actually usable. You guys know I've hated iPhone telephoto lenses for probably the last 5 years since I started making iPhone camera videos. This one is actually usable, and this photo in San Francisco solidifies it for me. Awesome photo, awesome camera feature. So we'll make a separate video about this, but I definitely don't regret the 17 Pro. I could have done without the 16 Pro. That phone had a lot of issues, one of them being something that made me finally get an iPhone case. Now, a case is not included in this list because I don't have it. I ordered it over the weekend, but it's this case right here if you're interested in something that looks a little bit more techy. I do want to mention why I'm getting a case finally and leaving Team No Case. You see, my iPhone 16 Pro, when I was in LA for Adobe Max, I dropped it. Didn't think anything was wrong. The phone wasn't damaged. There were no cracks, but when I got on the airplane home, the battery swelled up huge. Like the phone was literally separating. The battery was so swollen. It really freaked me out, and I dropped the 17 Pro, and now I have a scratch on the frame, which is a pretty common issue. So I'm finally getting a case. The case I'm getting is up here on the screen if you want to get one that's a little bit less boring than most iPhone cases. But the next thing I want to talk about is on that list, and that is this Anker power bank. I've talked about this before on the channel, so I'll keep this brief. Essentially, you can charge this up and you have a ton of power packed into this very compact little thing that you can throw into your camera bag. It has a USB-C built into it as a handle, and the reason I love this is because it has saved me on quite a few different occasions with this YouTube channel. I'll go out to a location and realize my action camera is not fully charged. I can just plug it into this, get a quick charge. In the winter, you can even fit this in a hoodie pocket so you can be charging a camera as you're walking around doing things if your camera has USB-C charging. And if you're someone who needs power for your laptop, maybe you're on location and you don't plan as well as you could, this will help you out. So this is something that is great, has saved me quite a few times, and it's something I just throw in my camera bag every time now. Now, one more Anker product that I want to talk about is this Anker 3-in-1 charger. Talked about this as well, but this block design looks really nice on your desk. I actually have 3 of these in my house, 1 down here, and then I have 2 upstairs in our bedrooms. I like these just because it sits on your nightstand, it sits on your desk, it looks nice, it charges up your Apple Watch, it can charge up your phone, and it can also charge up your headphones on the back simultaneously in a nice compact size so you don't have cords everywhere, and you can tilt the phone up to display your phone if you have an always on display. This is just a really cool accessory that I've had for years, and I still absolutely love it. And once you buy it once, you can just keep it on your desk and it's going to last you a very long time. The next thing I want to talk about is the DJI Mic Mini. Now, I am not someone who likes to use off-camera microphones because I'm just used to this setup. I use this USB-C mic with my laptop and I record these videos, and it works great because these videos are typically pretty long. This video might be like 10-15 minutes, but it's probably going to be 45 minutes of record time. But it's not very convenient to use this setup when I'm recording something simple like an Instagram reel or a YouTube short or a TikTok. And that is where the Mic Mini comes into play. The DJI Mic Mini has one feature that I absolutely love, and that is the fact that this receiver can easily be plugged into your iPhone, so you can just record straight from your voice notes app and you get great sound from this very small microphone that's extremely convenient and also magnetic. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this, but the high quality sound that you get from this and the noise cancellation plus the convenience makes this, in my opinion, the best starter off-camera microphone. You can obviously use this with the receiver on a traditional camera as well, and I like the fact that it syncs up with other DJI products, so if you're using a DJI Action Cam but you want good audio, this will sync up very easily. Same goes with the Osmo Pocket 3, and the case is chargeable, so if you charge up the case, you don't have to worry about getting in a situation where you need this power bank to charge up your microphone. For the most part, you should be good if you just throw this on the charger every now and again, and you'll have power to your mics. Now, the next item on this list is something that doesn't necessarily impact my creative life. It is over there, which we'll talk about in a second, but it is something we use in our personal life quite often, and that is today's sponsor, Aura Frames. So you might have noticed this, the latest addition to the office in the background of today's video. This is an Aura Frames Carver matte frame, and Aura Frames is sponsoring today's video with one of the best offers we've ever had on the channel. If you go to auraframes.com and use code EvanRampt, you can save $35 on this frame, which personally I think is a great holiday gift, and it's an option for both photographers or non-photographers who want to share moments. Now, the reason I love Aura Frames sponsoring this video is because we've had an Aura frame in our home for the last 2 years. The one in our living room is designated to family photos, personal photos, images of my son when he was a baby. He loves eating his breakfast and seeing photos of him with his grandparents. He even does this thing where he like fake cries and makes fun of himself when a baby photo pops up. It's super cute, but the reason we love having this frame in our home is because it allows us to showcase all the different major events in our life. A traditional picture frame is just one photo. It's cool, but you got to change it out. With an Aura frame, you can add all your important life moments to one frame and then customize how often these photos will be shown and in what order they will be shown. Now, the setup on the Aura frame is so easy. You just download the app, pair your app to your particular frame, and then you can start adding photos to the app. Now, one thing that I personally love is you can quickly turn on and off which photos appear in your slideshow. So for example, maybe you want to sub out your beach photos from the summer for more holiday themed photos to fit the season. All you got to do is turn them off, and when it's warm again, you can turn them back on. It's such an easy, convenient way, like I said, for you to showcase all the important moments in your life. For limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. Just use promo code EvanRampt at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code EvanRampt. This deal is exclusive to viewers of the channel, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the channel by mentioning us at checkout and using code EvanRampt. Terms and conditions do apply. Now, next up might be arguably the most important item on this list because it has made a tremendous impact on my health, which has translated over to my personal life and translated over to my professional life. Now, here's the thing. This is not about the Apple Watch Ultra 3. This is just the hardware. Any Apple Watch in the last couple years will run Apple's new Apple Watch iOS. That is what we're talking about, the software. The latest iOS update for Apple Watch allows most of the recent Apple Watches to give you a sleep score. Getting a sleep score has been big for me because I didn't realize how bad my sleep actually was. I have a toddler in the house, so my sleep isn't the greatest to begin with. It's still not that great now, but once I got this Apple Watch and started wearing it at night, I realized I was only getting about 30 minutes of deep sleep every night. Even on nights where I was sleeping for 7.5, maybe close to 8 hours, I would still wake up some days feeling very tired. And by seeing all this data, I realized, hey, something is happening with my sleep, and it turned out to be my mattress. I replaced my mattress. I wasn't thrilled to spend the money on that, but I replaced my mattress, and now my sleep score is beginning to improve, and I'm seeing improvements in that data. Now, the next thing also kind of has to do with health, but in a different way, and that is the Logitech MX3 Master Mouse. Now, I've been team trackpad for my entire career, over 10 years editing with a trackpad, but because I'm getting old, something is going on with my hand and my wrist now, and I started noticing I was getting this numbness in these two fingers. And upon researching it, I realized it was some type of carpal tunnel from sitting here with my wrist like this on a trackpad for hours every single day editing. So I switched over to the MX Master 3 earlier this year because of its more ergonomic style, and I've absolutely loved it. And most importantly, my pinky finger is not going numb. Now, I did upgrade to the MX Master 4, 4, I actually just got this in San Francisco at their pop-up store. I was there doing photography. I haven't even opened it. It's engraved with my name, but the MX Master 4 has some upgrades. There's some quick actions you can do, and also there's haptic feedback into the mouse. I used this at Adobe Max, absolutely loved it. So if you're someone looking for a better mouse and one that has more of an immersive experience, this thing is really cool and it's great, and most importantly, it's much easier on your hand and wrist. Now, the last thing on this list, you're gonna think I'm weird for this, but hear me out. It is these $20 Apple corded headphones. Now, some of you might not be able to relate to this, but I use wireless headphones when I'm editing my photos and when I'm listening to music while I'm editing videos. I love that because I'm locked in, noise cancellation. I can't hear anything around me. But when I wear these headphones, when I go out on a walk and when I go out on a run or even go to the gym or even clean my house, always having noise cancellation just puts you in this weird frame of mind where you're not interfacing with the world. And I found myself wearing headphones for multiple hours throughout the day and just like being in my own space all the time. I can't really describe it. I don't know if any of you can relate to it, but I decided I wanted to make a change to where I could listen to music or podcasts and still feel like I was in the real world. And with Apple's headphones being $20, these have been great. And on top of that, the microphone on these is really good. So when I'm taking phone calls or doing video calls, I'll use these and the audio sounds great. And big part is you don't have to charge them. It's nice just to grab these and plug them in. Now, the last 2 items on this list are things that haven't found their way into my workflow, but they're just cool and interesting, and I want to mention them. Now, one thing that's in my essentials is always some type of filter. I believe that filters are something that every creator should be utilizing, whether it's a Pro Mist filter like I commonly use, like for this video right now, it's shot with a 1/4 Pro Mist, a polarizer for removing glare or ND filters, but something that I recently got is this PolarPro and Short Stash diopter set. This is called the Shift filters. Every time I say that, it sounds like I'm saying, another S word, but it's Shift filters. Now, the way these work is they're diopters, and the reason I wanted to include them in this video is if you're someone like me who does a lot of internet video, speed is one of the best attributes you can have. No one wants to spend multiple hours recording a YouTube short or an Instagram reel or even B-roll for a video like this. Now, when it comes to capturing this video, if you're using a 24-70, you know that you can't really get macro shots even at 70 millimeters because the focus distance isn't enough to get that nice cropped image. Now, a diopter set is essentially a magnifying glass for your lens. So you can throw this on your 24-70 and you can get a macro look to the video or photos that you're making and also get this cool halation and diffusion around the corners, creating this isolated effect. It's just something that can speed up your process a little bit more, and I just got these, so I'm not going to include them as like an essential or something that I don't regret, but they are very cool, and Garrett is a friend of mine, so I wanted to make sure I included them. The last thing on here, this is one that, who knows, I could regret in some time, but it's also pretty cool and interesting. It is this Apple camera strap. Now, Apple earlier this year released straps for their iPhone. Essentially, they made cases where you could put a strap on them. And I saw a video on Instagram of someone explaining that they actually work pretty well as a camera strap. So I tried it out for myself, and it turns out they were right. It is a snap mechanism, so you have to snap it in place, but right now I'm trying to move it with my thumb, and the snap is pretty secure. I can't get it off unless I grab it with 2 hands. We can even like shake this thing around pretty good, and it's not going anywhere. I've used this with my Leica Q, and I haven't had any issues. So if you're someone looking for maybe a different type of camera strap for your small point-and-shoot camera or a camera that's not super serious, I would not put this on a $10,000 DSLR setup, but it is something fun. It's something a little bit different and interesting. And if you're someone who wants to match your iPhone case to your camera strap, or you want a strap that can work on your camera and your iPhone case, this is something to check out. Like I said, you might regret it. It might not be something that works very well long term, but I did want to mention it because It's just weird and interesting, and it's something I picked up this year. But that is everything I wanted to go over in this video. Besides the camera strap, all these other items are especially useful, and I think there's something that you could take advantage of, whether it's you trying to improve your creativity, get a little bit of a tax write-off, or maybe give a gift to someone in your life who's a creative professional and you're struggling with ideas. But with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. Remember, drop a comment, let me know if there's anything that I left off this list or anything you find interesting. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you are not yet, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.